Hey y'all, what's up? This is Jesse Both of the 19th hole, and I'm here to do the Rookie and Pro Tournament Guide for the new Summer Major Tournament. This is the second major tournament of the year. Hopefully we'll have two more, and this one is going to take place on a brand new course called the Portello Cove. Huh? Oh, not Portello, Portello Cove course. Us dang Americans can never pronounce anything correctly. I know, it's okay. We're gonna get it, we're gonna get it. Portello Cove. All right, I think I've got it. So anyways, we are going to go over all of the holes, 1 through 9, and hopefully be able to give you all some tips and pointers on what may be the best way to approach each of these holes in the rookie and the pro division. The rookie division is played from the first tee, the pro division and expert division are played from the second tee. Most of the holes are played in a similar fashion, depending on no matter what tee you're on. The only difference is sometimes from the second tee with higher winds, you may have the possibility of making a little bit more advanced shots and advancing yourself to places that give you better opportunities for that eagle chip or possibly that albatross. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and start on hole number 1. And the way this is going to work, I'm going to start with talking about the rookie and then the pro next on each hole. So here we go, hole number 1. This is a par 4. And y'all better get ready for a rough bump because we're going to do a rough bump on this hole. So hole number 1, this is a par 4. For the rookies, I would definitely suggest bringing your Viper. You could bring your Big Dog as well. The winds are going to be fairly low for the second shot, so Viper or Big Dog, the adjustment will be fairly minimal. I would definitely suggest probably the Viper. If you have a sniper that's a little bit higher level, you may be able to use that with a little bit higher of a power ball just because it does lack on the distance for the club. But that's definitely a possibility. I haven't tried it out, but these courses do come up on Tour 5 very easily, so you can go and practice them and try out different shots with different clubs. I would definitely recommend you do that if you haven't already done so. As far as the rookies go, ball choice, go with the Navigator ball. You can use a Quasar if you want, it doesn't really matter. Navigator, Quasar, one of those two balls. Or you could go with the Titan if you just want to make sure you do have enough power to get that rough bump to the edge of the rough for that shot. Do want to make sure that you realize that these cliffs are in play for the shot off the tee box, so you can kind of bounce your ball. You can ricochet them off the cliff. Make sure you don't hit that cliff with too much energy because that ball can ricochet off to the rough. We don't want that to happen. So basically off the tee box we're going to be looking to land our shot right about in this zone right here. And we want to end up somewhere in this area for that second shot to the tee. That second shot to the tee is going to be aimed to this little rough patch right there. In front of the hole, and on that shot we're going to be looking with about a 1.5 to 2 rings of backspin on that shot. You can adjust your side spin as you want. You can go with no side spin, or you can go with a little bit of side spin if you want to kind of aim that ball guide towards the hole. Lower level clubs are not going to have much of a ball guide to begin with, so it's just kind of a guesstimate, to begin with. But hopefully y'all can get that shot keyed in, because that will be a good way to get the eagle. And a good way to get one stroke up on most of the field. There will be some eagles. I don't think this is going to be an overly eagled hole though, especially in the lower divisions. Now as far as the pros go, your second shot you're going to be looking to use a sniper or guardian most likely for the rough bump. And I would say go with a Titan ball or a Kingmaker for that shot. You ask, well, what about going to the right side? You can go to the right side. I just don't feel like it sets you up for a very good second shot to the green. In the pro and up divisions, if you do have a wind maybe over double digits, 10-15 miles an hour, you may possibly go to the right side with some sort of a crazy curl shot. You're going to land it here, try to get up into this zone right here, so that you do have some sort of a visual on the hole. If you end up back in this zone right here on your shot, you're going to be shooting a blind shot to the hole. Your options, once you go to that right side, are going to be, bump off here, bump off there. If you got a high level guardian with a lot of backspin, you can maybe take your shot off the fairway. So you do have the options going to the right. I just don't feel like any of those options are better than the option going to the left. I'll leave that up to you to decide. Maybe you find a different route and a different way to play this hole to the right. Definitely, you know, drop that video in the 19th hole so that we can see. And, you know, now I stand to be corrected. You know, you can always find better ways to play the hole. You know, so I do encourage you all to experiment and try to find those different ways to play each hole. Don't just go with what everybody says, this is how you should go. Be yourself. If you find a better way, record the shot, share it with the community, and improve everybody's game. So here we go. We're going to move on to hole number 2 now, par 3. For the rookies, you're going to be using your Viper, probably most likely on this hole. You know, this would definitely be a sniper hole if you have a little bit maybe leveled sniper. As far as ball choice goes, Quasar or Katana ball. You could use the Marlin ball as well. This shot right here is going to require at least 4 bars of backspin and max side spin to the right to kind of aim that ball in the general vicinity of the hole. Most likely you won't have any clubs with high enough leveled ball guides to really, you know, precisely show you the shot, so you kind of just have to guess on this one as well. I would adjust my shot for at least 25 to 30% extra on this shot, downhill and over the water. So definitely 25 to 30% extra adjustment. So let's just say 5-mile-an-hour wind, a 30% adjustment of 5-mile-an-hour wind would be 4.5 miles per hour. So a 3-mile-an-hour wind, you'd adjust it as if it was 4.5 miles per hour. And that's how you would calculate your adjustment. 0.5 per every 10%. Alright, so as far as the Pro Series goes, Kingmaker ball, or you can use one of those high-level wind resistance balls for this shot, I would definitely say. Sniper, Guardian will probably be your clubs of choice for this shot, and I would definitely still stick with that same landing zone right there. The reason why I say that landing zone is because I feel like that's the most consistent landing zone on this hole. It's fairly flat, so even, you know, if you miss a little bit left, right, front, or back, you're still going to get that consistent bounce off that spot, you know, as opposed to these spots right here. You know, those are both like domes, so there's really no flat spot on those areas. I have seen some people kind of land their shot here, bounce it up off here towards the hole. You know, that's definitely a possibility, but again, you know, this old landing zone up in here on that bounce, you just don't know. If you're off a little bit, that ball is not going to get a consistent bounce on that particular route. All right, so hole number 3, here we go. This is one of the first, you know, this is a pretty cool hole right here. A lot going on. As far as the rookies go, and the pros for that matter, your wood of choice has got to be the big dog. If you have a little bit higher level Cataclysm in the pro and up, then maybe use that. But for the rookies, big dog is going to be your choice, and most likely to the left side is going to be your route for the rookies. I would definitely say pull out that Titan ball for this shot because you're going to need that extra power for your second shot. So as far as the rookie go, here we go. Your shot is going to be going to the left from the first tee. You're going to be laying it in this zone right here, and you want to get the roll out to down into this area right here. And in order to do that, you're going to want to go with about 4 to 6 bars of topspin, and you're not going to want to overpower this shot. When you take this shot, it's going to look like a bullet going like right over the top of that slope. So 4 to 6 bars of topspin, regular power. The only reason you'd use overpower would be if you had some sort of a headwind, which I highly doubt we're going to get in the rookie or even the pro. So 4 to 6 bars topspin, regular power on that shot. It is possible if you do put too much power on it, there is a little kind of a hill up here. You may rest there, or you may hit it too far and roll down into the rough. You don't want to roll down into the rough. That's why you don't want to overpower that shot right there. That and the shot from that hill area is a much longer shot to the green than the shot from this zone right here. Okay. So taking the second shot of this hole, down, 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 down. Did I say the word down enough? Yeah, it's a pretty severe slope down to the hole. I would say at least 40% adjustment on your shot severe. So 5 miles an hour again is our example. That would be, you know, you would adjust as if it was 7 miles instead of 5. Okay. This could be a good thing in a way because you may need that extra over adjustment to get your ball to that spot to bounce to the hole. If you don't get your drive as far as you like, you may be having to look at some sort of a bounce shot off there to the hole. So definitely, you know, when you get to that second shot, you're going to have to judge. If your drive is short, you're going to probably want to play more topspin to try to get that bounce and roll to the green. If you have a good drive and you can make that shot over the sand to this zone right here, you might not need quite as much topspin to get to the hole. You might even need a little bit of backspin because don't forget about that 40% extra adjustment on that shot. All right, so as far as going to the right is concerned, the right, yeah, you can go to the right too. This is probably going to be a path that we see probably Pro Division and up, unless we get some sort of like right to left tailwind in the rookie. I don't think I see, you know, the rookies going to that side unless you have, you know, a little bit higher developed clubs playing in the rookie division and maybe in one of the upper level leagues or something like that. So this possibly could you know, be a shot for you as well. But the shot basically entails you bouncing the ball right here, and it hits here and rolls up into this zone right here. Shots like that. If you're going to take that shot, you don't need to adjust for any kind of extra wind. That is a no adjustment shot. So just play that regular. Whatever the wind says is what you're going to play on that shot. Your second shot to the green will be either a shot that bounces over the bunker, or depending on how far you get, it may land over. You may land it over the bunker with a ton of backspin. Those are your options for that shot going to the right side. All right. So moving on to hole number 4, and this hole may look simple, but it definitely could get complicated depending on how you hit your drive. For the rookie division, I would suggest, if you want to go with the rough bump, I would suggest going with the backbone and the Hornet combination. If you're going to go for the backspin shot on the green, Saturn and Thorn. You can go with a Marlin, Navigator, or Quasar in rookie. Put the names in the hat, draw. It doesn't really matter which one you use. You know, if you want to go cheap, go with the Marlin. So as far as the drive goes, it's a pretty straightforward drive for all the divisions. You want to bounce your ball up in here and roll it up into this zone right here. That's the drive for all of the divisions. Okay, doesn't matter where you're playing. That's where you want to bounce and get the ball to. And the way you do that is 4 to 5 bars of topspin. So if you've got a driver with more topspin than that, don't use full topspin. You don't want to go into the rough section right there. Okay, 4 to 5 bars of topspin. That's it. Pretty simple drive. Now the second shot is where, you know, things start getting a little bit more complicated. Okay. Oh, we're gonna zoom in actually here on this one. Get a little more fancy. All right. So hopefully your drive is in this zone right here. If you do end up having to lay up back here, your second shot is going to go to this area right here, and hopefully you've got some mad chipping skills and you can chip it in from there. But most people are going to be playing this shot right there. So from that spot right here, what can you do? You can either go straight to the green with lots of backspin. That's where the Saturn comes in handy. You can go with the rough bump here, with the backbone. You're going to have at least 4 bars of topspin to get the ball up to the hole. I would say probably 4.5 bars is that magical number. I tried it a few times with 4 and I was getting just short of the hole. So 4.5 at least, maybe 5 is going to be that number for the topspin. It is kind of a touchy shot to figure out. The ball can just roll past and through the hole. It does happen. But that's definitely an option. Another option you have is to take your shot off of this fringe area right here. With that shot, it's going to be a very high arcing shot. The bounce is going to go way up in the air, come back down. I would aim the second bounce just a little bit past the hole. Okay, you know, trust me on that. Aim it a little bit past the hole. If you try to aim it like right with the hole, it's probably going to be short of the hole. Just saying that, just putting that out there. All right. And word of advice: stay out of this bunker. Don't go in that bunker. If you have a shot that you're not comfortable with and you think, oh man, I might end up in the bunker, well, change your shot. Do something else. You don't want to go in that bunker. The reason I say this is the slope up to the green is so severe that the only way to hit out of that bunker is, yeah, bounce it off this wall right here. You can do that. You can bounce it off that wall. And that's going to be basically the only way to get out of that bunker, is to bounce it off that wall. So just don't go in the bunker. Don't force yourself to have to make a trick shot off the stone, off the rock cliff. Okay. See here. All right, so that is hole number 4. Pretty simple, right? All right, moving on. Hole number 5. Here we go. And wow, look at all this stuff to look at here. This is quite an interesting hole for the rookie division. Definitely the big dog. I would suggest a Titan ball. If you want to use a Quasar, use a Quasar. But I would suggest a Titan ball for this hole. Once again, you really want that Titan ball for the second shot to the green. As far as the rookies go, you know, you're going to either be playing your shot off this area right here, and hopefully up there, or possibly this way right here. Those are going to be basically your paths of play for the rookie division. I would say if you have some sort of a tailwind or some sort of a side wind, go with that middle route. And go the left route, you know, if you have a left to right tailwind or some sort of a, you know, small headwind or side wind. I definitely would not suggest going to the right side on the lower divisions. Unless you have, you know, higher level clubs and you can make the shot, then that's definitely a possibility. If you are in the pro, you're going to want to be using the Kingmaker or, you know, higher level Powerball, you know, +4+ on this hole, and you want to bring your sniper or your big dog for this second shot. If you're going to go to the right side in the pro or up, that would be the shot you take if you have some sort of a side wind or a headwind. If you go to the right, you're going to have at least 5 to 6 bars of topspin on the shot to get to where you want to go. If you're going to go to the middle, this goes for the pro and the rookie, you're going to go with 4 to 6 bars of topspin off this middle platform. If you have a lot of tailwind, you may want to go to the lower edge of that 4 to 6 bars so that you don't roll off the edge right there. Okay. And if you're going to go to the left side, 4 to 6 bars of topspin, you're going to probably want to use some right spin and a little bit of right curl to bring that shot in, bounce, and roll, okay, to your desired location. Your second shot to the green. So we're going to zoom in here a little bit. From this zone right here, from this zone right here, or from this zone right back there. The two left areas, your shots are going to be pretty similar. Hopefully, you know, you have a good wind for the second shot. We just have to wait and see what happens. And hopefully you have that power ball in, because you do want to try to land your shot right there. Okay? Bounce over this area, hit there. Hopefully roll it in for the albatross. If you have a sniper, that's a good club to use if you have a high enough level sniper, because that ball guide will come in handy and you will be able to hit that albatross. Otherwise, you just kind of try to aim it up as good as you can and pray that you have lined it up correctly. So if you don't have the power to make the jump over that sand bunker, you can, you know, it's a tough shot. But I have done it. I did it on my my actual hole 5 rookie video. You're going to bounce your shot right there on the edge, very close to the edge of that rough. Okay? Your second bounce is going to hit right here. Your third bounce is going to hit right here and roll to the green. So it's a triple bounce shot. That, you know, is going to be your best shot at getting in range for the eagle. If you don't have the power, or if you don't quite hit a good enough drive. Like if your drive's back in this zone right here, you're most likely looking at that triple bounce shot. You know, bing, 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 and in. Okay, so we'll see. If you are over in this zone right here, you're going to be looking at a shot up to about this area here, rolling it to the hole. Best chance possible right there. Put yourself in position for that eagle chip. It's all about getting yourself the eagle on this hole. If you get the albatross, that's just extra gravy right there. If you really just want to make sure that you can put yourself in position for that eagle. And the best way to do that is either be on the green or somewhere around the edge of the green for that real simple chip. Good news is it is a fairly flat green, so if you do find yourself, you know, a little bit farther off from the green, you still have a good chance of that to roll that ball in for the eagle. All right, hole number 6 coming up, and we call this one Billy Goat Bluff, because this hill right here, I mean, the game, you know, it just seems like there should be some billy goats sitting up on top of this hill, or even around this hill on the hill. I mean, it just looks like a good Billy Goat Bluff to me. That's about the most I've found out about this hole so far. This is a very tough hole and a tough shot. As far as the rookies go, you're really gonna have to probably use a Titan ball because you just really need that extra power. And shot selection, your shot selection is this. Okay, you can take your shot off this ridge right here. You can try to land your ball in this zone right here, or you can go for the rough bump. Now, the rough bump is probably going to be, all the shots are going to be hard shots. I've had success with the rough bump. I did get the ace with the rough bump. These other shots, they're just tough shots to make. There's really no other way to put it. If you're in the rookie, this is going to be a very tough hole for you to play, unless you go for the rough bump. Because this shot right here requires a ton of backspin. And this shot right here can just be a downright crapshoot at times. If you're going to play the shot off this edge right here, we're gonna zoom this one in. So your shot is going to land in this zone right here, and it's going to have like a weird kind of a bounce. What you want is the second bounce to be somewhere right in here, going towards the hole. It's going to be a weird kind of an angular shot. And to do that, you're going to have to use left spin. And basically, what I'm going to say is, you know, at least, you know, it could be backspin. I would hope at least 1 bar of backspin on that shot. But you do want to make sure that second bounce is hitting the fairway and kind of going towards the hole. Basically, this is a birdie hole. If you get a birdie on this hole, be happy. If you get an ace on this hole, yep, go to the casino. You'll dang lucky. Go to the casino. This is just kind of a cross your fingers, hit your ball, and hope you lined your shot up correctly. Because on top of all this, you got to adjust at least 50% extra for the wind. So back to our example, 5 miles an hour of wind. This is low. Just think of what the pros and experts and masters are having to do. Rookie, let's just say 5 miles an hour. 50% of 5 miles per hour is another 2.5. So you got to adjust it like at 7.5 miles per hour on that shot. So definitely a very tough shot. If you are playing this one from the pro and up, you know, this zone right here may be your best landing spot. You're going to do full, you know, at least 4 bars of backspin and full left spin to kind of get that ball to shoot off to the hole that way from that location. If you got a tailwind, use a little small amount of curl. If you have a right to left wind, you know, you don't need to use the curl, just let the wind do its job. And if you have a left to right, okay, if you're right to left, no curl, let the wind do its job. But if you have a left to right, you're going to use at least 1 full ball of left curl to fight that wind and hopefully get yourself somewhere around the green. Quarterback, rocket, Thor, definitely options in the pro and up. Kingmaker and a high resistance wind ball. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of people using those high resistance wind balls on this hole in the pro division and up. So this is definitely a tough hole. This is one you really just got to get out there and practice it. You know, it's one that's even given me issues still, and a lot of the better players in the game. You know, every time I get into a playoff with this hole, people are like 20 and 30 yards away from the pin. So it's a tough hole to play, and maybe one that will be figured out as the tournament progresses once we know what kind of wind we get. Just because, you know, the wind plays such a major factor on this hole, it's kind of hard to judge what kind of shot we're going to take until we exactly know what the wind is. Because when you start talking about adjusting your shot 50% extra, you know, taking a shot from in this zone right here, if you got to adjust this way, you know, up the rock ledge, you're really not getting a very accurate adjustment because you're not really able to adjust your ball left, you know, because you're going more straight up left. You're not actually adjusting it straight left. So it's kind of dicey. And just like, you know, going this way, you're adjusting it down the edge of a cliff. So, you know, really, are you adjusting it as far right as you need to adjust it? You know, it may feel like you are, but you're really not. You know, you're really going more straight down and left. So, you know, instead of that left, you're going that left. You know, so not really very left at all. So you may not have learned anything from me talking on this hole, but that's just because it's a very, very, very tough hole. So moving on to hole number 7. Now this hole is going to be probably the best chance of an eagle on the par 4. And for the rookie, just one moment, let me be right back. Dog is barking at something outside. All right, we're back. All right, hole number 7, par 4, probably your best chance at an eagle right here. For the rookies, we're looking at the extra mile and backbone, hornet, thorn. You know, this might be a good chance if you're your hornet right here, if you have a decent size hornet, but definitely a good thorn shot as well. I like the Titan ball because I like the extra power it gives me for the drive. But you could go with the Quasar ball as well. Basically what you're going to be doing is your ball is going to be laying in this area right here. Okay? And what you want to be doing is hopping it over here, land and roll, hopefully somewhere into that zone. Hopefully we're going to get some sort of a left to right type of tailwind, or some side of tailwind. So we just have to kind of wait and see what kind of wind we get for this shot. If for some reason we get some sort of a headwind, you know, and you don't feel like you're comfortable making that shot, you can go for the shot over to this zone right here, and you will have a second shot to the green as well. Do make sure that you are adjusting about 10% for each of these shots because they are going over water, left and right. The shot to the left, you're going to be going with max top spin and max right spin, and the shot to the right, you're going to be using some backspin because you do want to make sure you stop your ball and not go too far into, you know, the rough areas over there. So, left shot, best chance of setting yourself up for the eagle in my opinion. For the pro, looking at some sort of club with a good amount of curl and power, so the Apocalypse or Extra Mile 8 would definitely be good choices. Kingmaker or Power 4 plus ball would be choices as well. Don't forget to adjust that 10% on each of those drives, either going to the left or to the right, because both shots are over water. The second shot to the green is a fairly easy chip shot with the short iron, either your Thorn or your Hornet. I like to go with the 1 to 2 bars of backspin. You know, play the shot, you know, a few squares in front of the hole. You know, kind of straighten that ball guide up to the hole and just hit that perfect. Really good chance of the eagle playing it that way. All right. Now, the hole number 7, one other thing I am going to suggest, probably not something that you'll do in the rookie, but maybe for the pro, if you do have a good enough level driver, there may be a possibility for some sort of a special power hook shot, where you're bringing it here, and possibly get it up here into the green area, possibly onto the green in 1. So definitely keep that in mind if you are a player that likes to mess around with those power hook shots. Your ball, you'll be aiming it out into this zone somewhere out here, and it'll be interesting. You may have to mess around with the ball you use, because you do want to make sure you have a ball that doesn't have too much power, because you don't want your ball to land out in this zone right here. It's got to be a very technical shot to get it to land in there and get the good bounce. So definitely something to think about. It's a possibility. It's not maybe something I would recommend, but it's definitely a possibility. So hole number 8, and this hole right here is a fun hole. The green slopes all different ways. The edges all slope away from the hole, and there's a very small area on the plateau area of the green to stop the ball. So if you're going for the ace, you're either going to hit the ace or you're going to roll off the end. If you're going to just try to stop the ball on the green, it's going to be very tough to do that too. You want to be very careful with your spin on this hole, because you don't want to roll off the green and into the rough. It is a very small area from the green to the actual rough. So definitely keep that in mind. For the rookies, definitely your Viper is going to be your best option, and go with the Navigator ball. There's going to be a 20% wind adjustment on this shot. So extra wind, so 5 miles an hour would basically be 6 miles an hour. Do make sure to adjust for that wind. My suggestion is you want to land your shot somewhere in this little neck of the fairway area. You want your bounce to be somewhere up there on the green. I would say somewhere with 2 to 3 bars of backspin, with a headwind, and with a tailwind. You're not going to use quite as much backspin, maybe 2 bars. So definitely get there, mess around with that shot a little bit, and see what you can do. On the pro, you are playing from a little bit farther back and a little bit higher up in elevation, so instead of a 20% adjustment, you'll make a 25% adjustment. I would say Kingmaker ball, go with the sniper or quarterback on this shot. Those would be basically your best options. You do want a club with a lot of accuracy, so high accuracy clubs are good on this hole. If you're playing in the rookie, you have a higher level sniper, with a little bit of backspin, definitely would be an option as well. So that's hole number 8. There's really only one way to play it, and it's one of those shots where you either hit it or you don't hit it. And hopefully if you don't hit it, you don't hit it just a little bit, because you don't want to roll into the rough or the bunker. So here we go. Hole number 9, par 5. This is the last hole. And for the rookies, I would definitely say bring your big dog and pull out that Titan ball. You do want that extra power. For your drive, you're going to be hitting your shot this way, bouncing it here, and trying to bounce there and get up into this zone right here. The farther you can get up that second fairway to the edge, the better chance you have of getting that second shot to the green. Do want to make sure that you use a little bit of curl, and I would say full top, full right spin, because you just do kind of want to hug that right hand edge of that rough line to avoid going into that bunker. This feels kind of like a shot we had not too many tournaments ago, except we were laying it onto a little bit smaller of an island area. But this does kind of have that feel. I can't remember exactly what hole that was, but it just kind of like reminds me of it. Deja vu. So I would definitely try to set yourself up into this zone right here for your second shot. Now your second shot with your big dog, the reason I say bring the Titan ball is because you want to try to land that shot up in here and roll to the green that way. To do that, you're going to be using full top spin and full right spin, and you are going to want to try to avoid overpowering that shot. If you have to overpower it, you have to. but you do want to try to avoid it if all possible. So definitely try to get that shot up to the green, but if you can't, just try to lay it up somewhere in this area right here, and leave yourself a fairly easy chip. In the Pro, Big Dog or the Cataclysm, if you have it leveled up, Kingmaker, or some sort of a high-level Powerball. You're going to be playing the left way, pretty much the same approach. If you want to try for the right side approach, you can. You want to get your ball somewhere up in this zone right here. I will say though that I think the right side approach is very dependent on what kind of a wind we have for our second shot. If you have a lot of a headwind on that second shot, it may not be the best approach to take. But if you do have some sort of a tailwind, you definitely could make that shot for sure. You do want to have a club with a lot of backspin for that second shot, because you will be trying to land it over that rock into this zone right here with some backspin to the hole. So very dependent on what kind of wind we get for the second shot, going to the right side. Other than that, left side is probably your best chance to do this hole. Definitely in the rookie. I don't think anybody in the rookie, unless you are playing one of those upper level league rookie brackets, will have the clubs to do that. All right. So anyways, this has been the walkthrough for the Portello Cove course. These are 9 brand new holes, and really only had 2 days to look at them. And both those days I did work, so I didn't really have full days to look at them. Played them through about 2 times each, and hopefully some of these tips and suggestions are ones that will help you prepare for the tournament. If you do have any extra tips or suggestions, please feel free to leave those in the comment box. With this being a brand new course, everything that I say is not necessarily what you should do. There may be other ways to play these holes as well, but I think what I have laid out in this video is definitely a good path, and definitely has you on the road to having a successful tournament. So good luck to you all, and thank you all for joining me. This has been Jesse Boats of the 19th Hole. Make sure to check us out on Facebook. Just search Golf Clash the 19th Hole, and join our fun and growing community. Also, if you haven't hit that sub button on my YouTube channel, I'd appreciate that a lot. This will allow you to receive notifications when I do upload new videos and content, and also when I do have my live feeds for the tournament. So thank you all for joining me. Happy golfing. God bless. Y'all have a good Saturday and Sunday.